All right, so I'm gonna record basically the session just for purposes of content for YouTube, because I'm trying to go viral on the day trading world to see how I can help others aside from our community and grow our community. Because ideally, what I would really like is one day for me to have thousands of people that just basically watch me trade, and from there just basically be able to like collaborate with others in the industry. So hopefully, with me creating like a series of events where I have like different traders and I'm able to talk to them, trade with them, and at the same time train them, educate them like I'm doing with you. It helps them be able to see the progression from like 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months on how they learned and applied certain situations and rules to their trading. So we're gonna go over right now what is the orb. Basically the orb is the first 5 minutes or the first 15 minutes of every New York Open. I think it works for every session. I'm not really sure. I've never really tested it, but I have tested it with New York and it's pretty clean. It's a really easy strategy to do. Um you're just basically looking at the behavior of how we react from the top or the bottom of the first 15-minute candle. And usually it'll be a break and retest for continuation in one direction. Let me see here. So basically the orb is the opening range breakout and it's basically testing the low or the high of the first 15-minute and it usually runs into the first hour, okay? Just for your feedback on writing that note down. Let's look at the 15-minute for today because today was actually a really clean day. So the first thing we did on just to kind of give you a recap of what we did this morning, we put in what's up Caesar, what's up Jimmy? We put in the anchor. Write this down in your notes. It's called an
Good man.
anchor of wait, what is it called again? I forgot. I barely know the name of these tools. It's called a fixed range volume profile. Write that down.
Wait, say it again, please.
Fixed range volume profile. You're basically looking for the point of control, POC. So what you do with the point of control, you're basically just understanding where they're holding the most trading and where they're moving away from it at that very moment. So looking at today, today was the 12th. I always place it from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So write that down. You always place the fixed range volume profile from 8 a.m. all the way through 9 a.m. Once you have your point of control there, you basically mark it out. You don't have to keep it there. I sometimes keep it there for purposes of not removing it so it's visible. But you can observe two things. You can observe that we have a little red line on the actual, what is this called, diagram that gets put into the chart. And then these bars right here are usually where the most volume happen. So as you notice, if we get away from this zone, I mean, if we go into this zone, you can see how it becomes smaller. And if we go to this zone, it becomes a little smaller than the usual where the point of control is. So two observations to see, right? First of all is you can see that we came from creating equal highs, right? You can see the resistance is very clear. What is the resistance, Isabel?
Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, what is the resistance?
My notes. I have it.
What is support?
Well, I know that the resistance after it's not resistance no more, it turns into support.
No, I don't think you get the right question. I don't think you understood the question. So what is support, Isabel? You're killing me here. You're killing me. Support is at the bottom, right? And resistance is at the ceiling, right? Is at the top. Basically, what it means is we tapped the top and then we came back to the top and once again rejected off the top. We never continued to the upside, meaning it was resistance. It was basically a ceiling. There was no more, we could go higher from that zone. Usually, when you have that representation of the chart, we call that an equal high. So, equal high is basically you finding the resistance, right? And then you basically come back down to where? So, if we come down from, if we come back, if we come from resistance, where do we go back to?
Support.
There you go. So as the representation of what we see in that data, right? We have here resistance, then we come with support. We basically find resistance, support. We break the resistance. However, we do find equal highs, which is resistance and resistance. Not only one time, two times, and three times. Three times is the charm, right? Say yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So basically what we have here is we have a range of support and resistance. Not only that, we can see in the middle, we have some sort of failed support to continue to the upside. Because think about it, if we have structure that's trying to make its way to the top, right? Ideally, what we want to see is we want to see some sort of push to the upside, right? From here, you would see the market make its 50% retracement to do what? Continuation. To break, retest, and continue to the upside, right? So basically, that's what a regular structure looks like for continuation into higher time frame, like supply or whatever. But that didn't happen. So what you have ideally, and what a representation of what the market's showing you, is a baseline of an equal high with some sort of resistance, right? So now we have areas of supply, areas that failed to continue to the upside. So if this was the area that melted down, creating some failed support, right? And continue to the downside, now what do we have inside this area? Some just basically generate liquidity, throw off direction, and they come back into this zone, which is a supply zone, because you can see very clearly this is where they try to push up, but then they let it drop. So if this is a little area of supply, you can see how we tap the zone, and basically the point of control is showing us that we are here. So they were holding price over here for a long ass time, manipulated people to go up and came right back down. Now, if this is point of control, right? If this is point of control of Thursday, on your 15-minute, if we go back to what the original idea of the strategy we're talking about today, ORB, is a 15-minute breakout, right? If we have the first 15 minutes of market, where's the 9:30 a.m. candle? Right here, right there. Let's mark it out. I don't have it marked in this one because I was not using this to mark my things. So basically, if this is the 9:30 candle, right? This was the highest that candle went to, and this is the lowest the candle went to. Are you following me?
Yes.
Wonderful. So now if we go to the 1 minute, you can see two things. We can see how market had point of control, right? They pushed up, pushed down, created some sort of like support to come back up, manipulate more longs, right? Make it look like we're gonna go long. And now what they did is they rejected off of point of control. Now, because they rejected off point of control, you basically had the direction already confirmed. Direction was very clear. This was your direction. That's your confirmation candle. You see how we rejected one, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five, six. We had a neutral candle and then the confirmation candle. That was your directive move to say, okay, this is a short day. This is not going to be a buy. Now, anybody that got inside of this like trade to go long got pretty much cooked today because again, they didn't wait for what? The break and retest. Because the break and retest would have been one of these right here. It would have came out, right? It would have retested the zone of point of control, and then it would have allowed this to go up. Why? Because this, oops, how do I delete that? Didn't delete. And by the way, let me just mark this out because I haven't marked it out. So I'll put orb top. I'm gonna make the letters huge so you can see it. And this is the orb bottom. All right. So once again, orb strategy recap, right? I hope you're writing this down. We have point of control from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., right? Once that happens, open bell happens at 9:30. From 9:30 to 9:45 a.m., you usually get the first top and bottom of the first 15 minutes. You mark out your top and you mark out your bottom. Basically, from there, you're just waiting to see the behavior of how we react from one side or the other to break out, right? What is a breakout? That it literally flies out and then it comes right back to retest the zone. Now, if you clearly see this, going back to what I keep talking about, if you clearly see this, does it look like it's broken out, Isabel? Did it look like we broke out of the zone at all?
No.
No, not at all, right? Now, if we came back to the bottom, does it look like we broke out to the bottom?
Yes.
Where?
Hold on. It's because I'm on my phone. Sorry.
Oh,
Let me zoom
you
in.
don't have your computer today?
No.
Mm.
Can you show me again? You were asking me when
Yeah.
did
At what time did the actual breakdown happen from the orb?
after night? I think that's what you were just saying, right? That candle right there. No,
This
that
one?
one, the one on top.
This one?
Yes.
No. So this was basically rejecting the top of the orb. So think about it like this. If the first 15-minute candle gives us the high and the low, right? And we see multiple
Mhm.
rejections from the high, and then you get a neutral candle with a confirmation candle, which is basically a neutral is like a spinning top or a gravestone doji or a hanging man. Those are all indications of less buying pressure and more of like a iffy, indecisive zone. So the next candle is usually your directive move, meaning it's usually the candle that gives you the direction that we're going down instead of going up. Because think about it, if we were going up, wouldn't it look something like a huge candle, or
Mhm.
some sort of
Yeah.
candles that move sideways, up? Instead, we just get multiple rejections. So write this down. Neutral candles are spinning tops, right? They're usually um what is this called? Hanging mans, they're shooting stars, evening stars.
I don't
I,
even
I,
know what stars are. What the heck is that?
I don't even know what the fuck they're called, to be honest. I just know what they look like. I'm just reading the little mat that I bought. I bought myself a little mat that tells me all their names. So they're called spinning tops. They're called long leg dojis, gravestone, and dragonflies. Write that down. So with that being said, now that you understand some sort of reaction of behavior with candles, you don't have any impulsive move to the upside. You only have what we call a directive move. Not only did we act from a supply zone, right? We're reacting from the top to come to the down. If this was the downside bottom, then you were supposed to assume that the top and the bottom range was already there. So if you had entered here and you saw some kind of like impulsive move to the downside, it was your job to make sure you broke even right away, or at least pay yourself $100 just in case. Because the odds of it coming down after multiple rejections, like 5 rejections, guys, it's huge. It's huge, especially when you have indications of a supply zone. So with that being said, you had point of control as your confluence, right? Write that down. You have point of control as confluence. You had supply zone. You had the orb top rejections 5 times. You had a directional move after like a hanging man. So you could have literally entered here and your stop loss would have been above. That would have been at least a minimum of 40, 50 points, depending how you entered the move. That would have been an amazing trade. I personally wanted to enter it, but I couldn't. If you guys go back to the recording, I couldn't enter that trade. I didn't get the specific pattern that I wanted for me to enter, and I didn't want for me to be in the predicament like I was in yesterday, where I was basically in, and then at one point it looked like I was gonna get stopped out, but then it went my direction. So I didn't. I wanted to practice patience today versus what I did yesterday. So in one way or another, it was a learning lesson for me. It wasn't like I missed out because I still made $1,000 for the day. I just didn't maximize that first move for the day. Now, what's important here, right? If we rejected 5 times from the orb top, you can see how we broke out. I'm sorry, we broke down, and then suddenly we had this move to the upside. Pay attention to these characteristics right here. This right here is very important. We had one, two, three. This huge candle that had an imbalance went back one, two, three, just like it did right here, creating a corrective move and basically giving us that retest of the orb bottom. You see that? They basically wicked out. They wicked out into this area that had the no wick candle. It created like something like a magnet into it. So they balanced that out and then they came right back down. And the beautiful part about it is if you were short from the top, there was nothing telling you to close your position. Really, there was really nothing telling you to close your position. It was like the direction was clean. It was perfect. Let me show you something real quick. Let me just make this
Would
video
that
big.
pump have been a good time to take a short if you weren't in already?
If you weren't in, yeah, if you were not in, it was a perfect time to enter there. Correct. It was a perfect time. It was. Because look, what happened next was we had another reversal confirmation. You see this gravestone doji? Even if it's not red, doesn't mean that it's not a good play. You had the confirmation of your no wick candle, right? You had the imbalance getting balanced. You had basically a gap, and then the reversal with this candle confirming the sell pressure. So that gave you even more confluence to say, okay, I didn't enter the top, but I could enter the or bottom retest, break retest. You see that? And basically go into taking your direction move. So you could have still entered here, and your stop loss would have been here instead of all the way up here. So from there, you basically would have had another like 100-point move easy. And then again, you had this imbalance here in the middle, right? Which would tell you that the direction is like strong, like there's a lot of sell pressure. There was nothing telling you to close. Now, once you get to the bottom, you can see how market starts to react like it's trying to create some sort of support. Why was it trying to create some sort of support? Let's see. Where am I? Oh, here you go. We had some sort of like area of resistance that turned into strong buys. You see that? So basically, we were coming down into the bottom of this right here. And basically, market is sitting here because they're trying to create some buy opportunities. Because this was a buy zone. So we tapped, at this very moment, we tapped a gap, or we're about to tap a gap. See something here. I would prefer wait. Yeah, look, they already tapped it. So you see how there was this resistance on this candle right here? We tapped already that zone. Now we can still bounce around here to come back and see if we're gonna retest the zone. But this looks like a more down move than anything. You could even see very clearly how this already looked like it was trying to go up and then reverse to the downside, creating lower highs, lower highs. A lower high here, a lower high here, a lower high here, lower high. It was very obvious lower highs, more lower highs. So if you're a trend trader, right? I'm sorry to get away from the whole orb thing, but if you're a trend trader, let me show you guys something. If you're in a trend, right, and you see that we had a lot of liquidity sitting up here and we didn't take it, you can easily say to yourself, okay, if this creates some sort of pattern to make us go back to the upside, I could probably take some kind of like long into this zone or sell once this line gets tapped. Why? Because there's a lot of liquidity sitting down here. You see that? So you don't have to guess where you need to like start selling. there's a lot of different ways to trade, guys. It's not just one right way. So if we're in this channel where we're going down, you can see how we're basically from the first resistance to the area where there's first support to now an area where they're trying to hold support. The lower we get to this zone, inside this zone, and it pushes to the upside, like maybe 50, 30% into it, then you can say, okay, maybe we are gonna go to the top. There's a lot of different ways to look at the market. It's not just one way. One way is not the right way. But let me erase this shit because then I'm confused, Isabel. So going back to this right here. So yes, we had orb. We had our first breakdown from the top. We had our push to create the retest. We had a 4 bar reversal right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the direction move. Right, you could have got your scalp to try to break out of this orb back into the top. But if you notice right here, I did call it out in real time while it was happening. I'm like, guys, this usually has like a strong reverse right here. When I see this pattern right here, it looks like a little head and shoulders. I know it's always gonna come down though. The reason why it always comes down is because we never got the breakout, right? To retest the neckline and then continue to the top. That's the only reason why it fails 100% of the times. Because for it to be a head and shoulder, like an inverted head and shoulders to go to the upside, it needs to break out strong and then come back down to like retest that neckline. That's why in real time I was able to tell you guys, yeah, that's just gonna go down. And then eventually came back up, retested and continued down. I mean, today was a beautiful open. If I'm being real with you guys, I think it was a very clean PA. It was very clean um, with the orb. It wasn't hard to see. And then from there, they were just playing the range. It was all chalk. And so later on, it broke out, broke down. But yeah, this was a clean trading day. Anybody had any success stories this morning to trading orb?
Yeah, I got like 100 points off of it.
Sheesh, nice. See, it doesn't get any better than that. That's all you need, bro. Even with 50 points, that's all you need, guys. Like, once you know, like, a range is usually give you like 150 points and you're like at 120, if you're not trailing your stop loss tight, you're just being a greedy bastard. For real.
Yeah, once
Isabel,
I decreased my risk, it made holding positions so much easier.
100%. When you lower your size, you don't no longer look at it like a, oh my God, I'm gonna lose $1,000. You look at like, oh, I'm gonna lose 300 bucks to make 1,000. Perfect. It might take a little longer, but it's worth every penny because now you have multiple opportunities to make $1,000. Not just, oh, one shot, I killed the evaluation challenge. Isabel, do you have any questions on this?
No, I was just gonna mention uh for that, I just want to make sure that if I understand this part, that green part that you mark, it's break and retest, correct?
So the green part is where we broke down. So basically, if we were in the 15-minute orb inside here and they kept bouncing up, right? Let's say, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, let's say that this took longer to break out or break down. It didn't matter how long it would take. We could be here forever. And the moment it broke out, you would just need to wait for the retest and then the continuation. And if it doesn't give you the retest, it is what it is. You could always wait for tomorrow to do it again. The framework of the idea of the break and retest is for you to be able to enter the market with confirmation that is going to continue to the upside. And even if you miss the break and retest, you could always enter in certain like retracement zones because seeing market do continuation strong with strong demand zones, once it gets to an area where there's like liquidity already like taken out, they usually reverse really hard into a specific zone that they need to create some sort of support for continuation. But again, break and retest, that's all you need. Break and retest. So basically you had multiple confluences. You had the point control, you have a double top, right? You had the neutral candle, directive candle. You can see how they came up, retested it, came down, and then they came back to the downside. They broke out as a fake out and then came back down. They created some sort of support, equal equal highs, and continue to the downside. Now you can see the reversal here. You see one, two, three. That's a reversal right there. But all they did was take out these people right here, and they come back down, retest the zone as a like a confirmation of support, and then the rest is just coming back down to take out liquidity. There's a lot of different ways to see this market, guys. It's not hard, but it's something that you just need to trust your eyes, train your eyes, and be able to tell yourself, okay, what is the narrative that they're giving me? Once you have three, four, five confluences with the direction, then you just need to wait for your entry because you already know where the risk is and you already know where the reward is. Any questions? There's no dumb questions. So, what are the main three takeaways that you're taking today, Isabel?
Wait, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, what are the most important three takeaways that you're taking from this lesson today?
It was the first one was the opening the range breakout.
Okay,
You place it from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
cool. Let me ask you a
And
question before you keep going there. Um, on really volatile environments, you always do the 5 minute, okay? On days that are normal, like no crazy volatile information, like economical data, you do the 15 minute, okay? Just write that down just in case I forgot to tell you that. What's the second thing?
the resistance, the POC, it was a point of control.
Okay. And what does point of control usually do?
The oh my god, I don't know how to say this word. Um, determinar.
Determines?
Yeah, determine the direction.
All
Like
right.
you pick the direction.
So look, I looked up the actual definition for point of control online just to give you the feedback. So the point of control in a fixed volume profile identifies the specific price level with the highest traded volume within a selected range, acting as a magnet for price and a key zone for institutional support or resistance. Traders use it to identify fair value, pinpoint reversal levels, and confirm high probability trade setups. Okay, so it basically identifies the fair value. The point of control represents the price where the most trading activity occurred, indicating where buyers and sellers agreed on a value. Acts as a support and resistance because large institutions place the majority of their trades there, and the POC acts as a strong support and resistance level during price retests. It's basically a magnet for price, um, or invalidating points. Okay. Now, like I told you guys, 8 a.m. pre-markets where they're usually putting all their like level zones or filling their orders, not trying to like make their positions known on purpose because that's how institution is. If we all knew where they were entering, don't you think we would all trade with them and take away their money when they could be liquidating us? They need our retail liquidity. They need as much liquidity as possible for their profit margin. Okay. All right, keep going. What's the third thing?
The head and shoulders
The head and shoulders. What is the head and shoulders?
is to show you the reversal with the candles.
Hmm. So what did you take away from the head and shoulder?
Oh, sorry, somebody was calling.
I'm surprised you stuck with that more than anything. because that's not really like the most important thing of the lesson for the day, but it was more of a representation of what happened there. It's so head and shoulders are reversal, right? So basically, just to kind of give you a pinpoint of that, we have a shoulder, right? We come back, retest support, come back up, take out the stop losses, right? And then we have strong selling. Sometimes it goes a little lower because it wants to eat all the stop losses here for any buyers that entered, creating the perfect storm. And then we push one more time up, creating that resistance. So we have an area of resistance, area of liquidity that stopped out everybody, and then they just swamp down. They break down and retest and continue to the downside. There's another way to look at it, right? Let's say that head and shoulders basically is a reversal for continuation to the downside. If you saw something like this and it never broke out, it pushed up, then you already know that's a whole different thing. That's not a head and shoulders, okay? It basically needs to break out or break down, better said, retest, and then you enter. On the head and shoulders, you don't need a sniper entry. On the head and shoulders, you just need to enter where the retest is for the break and retest. So if anything, let's not say that your third pointer was the head and shoulders, okay? Let's better say the break and retest was your third pointer. Because like that, you look at it from a perspective that you're not focused on a specific pattern and you're focused
Mm-hmm.
more on the bigger picture of waiting for a breakout, the retest of confirming the rejection from a zone to continue in the direction that the market is giving you. Because a lot of times we start seeing the market go up and we're like, oh my God, it's going up, it's going up. I'm going to get in this trade because I know I'm going to make a lot of money because they drop from all the way up here and they're all the way down here and they're going up. And then suddenly you get in and you're like, oh shit, I lost a lot of money. And it's because you chased the market instead of basically waiting for the break and retest. Okay. So if anything, make point three your break and retest
Break the
confirmation candle.
resets.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Anybody have any questions? All right. All you guys are professionals. Cool. I'm just messing with you guys. All right, guys. So that's that. Isabel, how do you feel about trading? Tell me how long you've been trading now for.
Well, I'm gonna start this weekend trying to do the paper trading before I actually start trading.
Paper trading. Good. Check this out. Let's do this together real quick. Let's see if I could get the replay bar tool to work so we could do two examples of the orb so it stays fresh in your head. And then you could come back to this recording because I'm gonna upload it. And you can use it as your own like recap to go back to. All right. So let's look up any specific day. It doesn't matter. Let's go to any random day. Let me erase everything. How do I do the replay part two? Uh, no. All right. So let's just say this is 7 a.m. All right. So we are gonna play the replay bar two. Okay. When it comes to 9 a.m., I'm gonna stop it, and you're gonna tell me what I'm gonna do. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm playing it now. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit just so it's a little faster. Okay. All right, so it's 9:10 a.m. Let's say you just woke up, you had your coffee, you brush your teeth, you're eating your breakfast, you're ready to do your technical analysis, and you're gonna hit the market at 9:30. What's the first thing you do? Isa, talk to me. What's the first thing you do?
I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm not trying to give you the wrong
No, there's nothing wrong with you
answer.
saying the wrong thing. There's nothing wrong with you saying the wrong thing. What's the first thing you're gonna do to understand the point of control? What's the name of the tool for the point of control? I'm pointing at it. What is it called? Step one, look for your fixed range volume profile, right? Say yes.
Wait, say it again. I want to get it. I'm paying attention, okay? I'm just like,
All right, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. You just woke up. You got on your charts before 9:30, right? You got 10,
mhm,
15 minutes to look at the charts, do your technical analysis, confirm what you're gonna do or what the market may do, right? What's the first thing you want to know of the market for the 8 a.m.? You
the
want to
point of
know
control.
you want to know the point of control for 8 a.m., right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the name of the tool?
Uh,
It's right here. It's right. I'm literally pointing at it for you.
oh my God. Wait, hold on. Let me zoom in. Sorry. Fixed range volume
Mm-hmm. And that's what from 8 a.m. to what?
to 9 a.m.
So you basically put it on the chart from 8 a.m. all the way to 9. Okay. That gives you literally a little graph. Forget about everything. Okay. All you care about is what?
The point of control.
And what is the point of control here? The little white line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put a horizontal line on top of it just to understand where it is. That's basically 24,652. We're going to put a name on it. We're going to put point of control for what? Whatever day it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. You lock it so it doesn't move and you don't lose control of it, right? And now we're going to wait for our orb strategy. What is the orb strategy?
The opening of the opening range breakout.
Right. And which two are you going to be using? The 5 minute and what else?
Wait, you say 5 minute?
In a volatile day, you're going to use a 5 minute orb. And in a regular day, you're going to use a 15-minute orb.
Okay.
You wrote that down?
I only had the 5 minute one. I'm gonna have right now the 15 minute.
Right, the 15-minute. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to play it. Okay. We're going to just watch what the market's doing. Okay. Let's see. Let me slow it down now because it's going really fast. Okay.
Okay.
So it's 9:30 and like now it's 9:30. Okay. That's a massive move. Let me stop it real quick. All right. When you see this candle right here, what does that tell you, Isabel? This specific candle right here.
The red one or
Yeah,
the green one next to it?
the red one. What is the name of that candle? It's called a gravestone doji, okay? Write that down.
You can. It's not hammer.
Nah, it's a gravestone. A hammer is usually pointing up. When I first started
Chris.
learning how to trade, I would call it a Thor hammer. You know how Thor has his thunder hammer, and when he's
Mm-hmm.
going down into the earth or whatever, he's like lightning inside, like basically with the hammer looking down like that. I would call it a Thor hammer, but then I found out it's called a gravestone, so I call it a gravestone. So funny. All right, so basically that's a gravestone doji. The gravestone doji tells you that there is a lot of sell pressure, okay? There's a lot of sell pressure. When you see that, just look over to the left. And what is happening there? You have a lot of selling. You see this area that just literally looks like it reversed really hard and never came back? That's your head and
Mm-hmm.
shoulders with a neckline retest. Breakline retest, continuation to the bottom. See that? So basically, with that being said, if we tap the zone that was previously a sell zone, let's mark our 15-minute orb, which is basically right here. So this is the orb top. So we're going to put here orb top. And then we're going to put the line yellow. And let's do the bottom. So you have your top and bottom, and something to consider that's really important is you can see in the market there was this candle right here that was down, and then suddenly these two inside were equal, right? Somewhat. And then this one came all the way down and liquidated these two. So basically, the moment they liquidated these two, somebody's protecting their position here, where they don't allow to go any lower, and they run off. Now let's look at the 5 minutes just in case, right? You can see that it looks like a gravestone. Is a very clear sell pressure. That is super clear. You can't miss that. So let's go back into the idea of what we're trying to do here. Anything that was left that we can see, we have resistance right here, resistance right here. I'm gonna mark this out as an area that maybe we can create some sort of support. I don't know. Let's see. But I'm gonna mark that out just because I want to know that that's my previous resistance. And I'm gonna play it. There's our orb top rejection so far. Okay, you see that? We have some sort of like support to continue. We faked out of the orb. We're pushing down. That right there alone is 80 points. It looks like nothing, but it's a lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if we got two rejections off the orb top, could it be that we're gonna go 50% retracement? I don't know. I really don't know, but let's check it out. If I'm putting a fib at the swing low and the swing high, I want to see how low it could go. Boom. See that? That's massive. They're throwing off both direction. They're breaking out. All right, so there's your breakout and your retests of the ore bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to buy here, okay? It was super risky, but I'll try to buy here. Let's see. One more down move. Ah, nope, it's leaving without me. Okay, okay, going. Boom. You see that? That's a real confirmation of a break and retest right there. For me, ideally, I already see two things. I already see that they rolled out, they came back down to retest the second time. That engulf right here is good. This right here is a nice reversal candle. I call this all about the U because you can see the U real clear. And then you have some sort of hanging man there. The next candle needs to go up for me to know that it's going to go up. Let's see. I'm going to buy right here. Let's just say I buy. And my risk might be somewhere around, I don't know, 50%. Now, of course, this is a mini, guys. Right? This is a mini. If I was full porting this account, that's risky as fuck. But let's see. Here's another retest. Oof, not good, not good, guys, not good. So how high can it go? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this week right here. I was just bouncing around. Nice head and shoulders. All right, I'm gonna stop this right here real quick just for you to see that. All right, so you see how we had here's the interesting thing. You had a shoulder, head, shoulder. Do you see that?
Yes.
And suddenly we did the breakout with the retest. That's how you know you're gonna continue to the upside. So let's see. One more retest. Let's see. Nope. No bueno. And there you go, guys. That's as simple as it gets. It's not gonna always be perfect, but that's how you would do your analysis of a breakout and retest. Any questions on that, Isabel?
Nope.
Jimmy, any feedback?
No, I don't got any feedback right now. I think she just needs a little bit stronger fundamentals because it seems like she gets getting a little lost. So teaching her strategy right now might not be the best thing. Um, I
I
mean,
do
I would
agree.
kind of focus on more like candle behaviors at first,
Mm-hmm.
seeing what kind of candles it is and how certain candles react in certain ranges. That's how I would start before teaching her an actual strategy. But nah, yeah, I think she's doing good. She's trying to understand it for as much as she can, so I think she's doing great.
Yeah, I think she's too novice for me to go into the strategy. But this is gonna be an eye opener for her because she's gonna be able to repeat it multiple times. There's a lot of things that we did put into play. The point of control, the Fibonacci retracement, the OR bottom and top, the basically break and retest. Those are the few things you're gonna have to learn over time, Isabel, because in order for you to really go from 0 to 100 real quick, it all depends of how much time you put into like your actual training yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
can you sit with me for 2 hours? Yeah, you could. You could sit with me 2 hours, but that information is not gonna stay in your head if you don't actually like put it into work or practice
Yeah.
the next day or at nighttime or before you go to bed. You're gonna tell yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna put 30 minutes into like recapping whatever Rico talked about." So can you look at this chart all day and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna learn," but how are you gonna learn if you don't teach yourself the very basics little thing? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I send you a few videos, okay? Because I really can't spend a lot of time talking about like the small minusculous things that obviously to me it might not mean a lot, but to you it's gonna help you a lot. But those videos are like an hour, 2 hour long, and I'd rather you watch those videos and you actually put in the work to like take notes, study it, than me actually sitting here talking about something that I really don't want to talk about. So if I
Okay.
if I'm
Thank
being real
you.
with if I'm being real with you, watch the videos I'm gonna send you. Okay, if you could try to watch them from here to Sunday, so by Monday we could do another session where we do the orb once again, and you still have access because I'm gonna post this video like that. You have access to be able to see this and tell yourself 3 months from now I want to be able to repeat this process over and over again and seeing how those candle behaviors, like what Jimmy said, is true. Understanding the candles and what their behaviors do, representing like sell pressure or buy pressure, you would be able to have a little bit more clear idea of how to take these kind of like things from 0 to 50 or 0 to 20. So by 6 months, we can make you a profitable trader. It's like what I told you from day one. I want to make you my prodigy, where you are a new trader that goes from 0 to 100, but I can't make you that if you don't put in the part. Oíste? So
Yeah, I know.
what are you gonna promise yourself tonight to do going forward?
Well, tonight I'm gonna look at the videos if you send it to me today.
What are you gonna promise yourself to do every single day?
I might do it every day, 30 minutes or more.
One
Look at
hour.
the
1
charts.
hour minimum. 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
1 hour minimum. What does that mean? That means that every single day for the next 3, 4 weeks, you're gonna spend 1 hour every day, no matter what. Like going to the gym, you're gonna play muscle memory with all the things you're gonna be getting or receiving from me, and this way we can really help you get to become a profitable trader. It's one of the best feelings ever. Look at me. I'll give you my example. I lost everything on Sunday, and I'm already at almost 10K in 4 days. Who does that? Nobody. Nobody does that. You could lose everything in this world. Isabel, the beautiful thing about trading is you could lose it all and you can start all over again. And there's nobody that's gonna stop you. Not a degree, not a certification, not the law, not everybody. Because it's all here. Look, it's all in your brain. Nobody can take that away from you. That's the beautiful part about trading. So all you need is $50, activation fee, and make your money.
50.
$50. That's all it takes. That's all. She's so clueless about how to make money with prop firms. Oh
No,
my god.
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's because I was actually right now that you're well before too that we were on the call and I was looking at what you're using.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna ask you because you told me to use Trading View and I was like, he's not using Trading View, but I see that you're using another one that I saw before. Like I try to look for it and then yeah. So do you
Yeah.
use both of them at the same time?
I use so what you're seeing all of us use when you see us send screenshots and stuff like that, most of us are using Top Step. So Top Step is the platform that allows you to use like a simulated account just like TradingView. But the only difference is with Top Step, you pay a small little fee to be able to make money. So what these simulated accounts allow you to do is prove yourself that you have a strategy and that you're consistent at making money. And once you pass that test, which they call an evaluation, you basically pass it to a simulated account where you actually make real money. So every day that you see us make money, we're basically getting paid every 5 days if we have 5 winning days. And all you need to make
Oh
is $150 to make money. All you need is $150. Like, who in their right mind will like not take advantage of that?
yeah, you're right.
I would waste $150 every day to leverage $2,000. I don't care. And when I lose those accounts, it doesn't feel like anything because it's just $50. So if I could do it, Isabel, you could do it too. It's just a matter of you being self-applied, right? The good thing is that you have a supportive team. Like you're seeing Jimmy here, you're seeing Annette here, you're seeing me. Like we generally want to learn, and while we teach others, we teach ourselves. To be honest with you, because a lot of times we think that we're teaching somebody else, but at the end of the day, I'm just redefining my edge. So when I have the opportunity to really teach somebody and take them by the hand, I'm really teaching myself. I'm not teaching you. So that's how over time I've become a profitable trader. That's how over time I've been able to do things that people that are even 5 years in trading, 7 years in trading can't do. Because again, it's called discipline and consistency. I want this so bad that all I do is talk about charts. Like my cousin could talk to you, like he's right here. He'll tell you straight up, I don't really talk a lot, but if you give me the chance to talk about trading, bro, I talk about it for hours. For hours. Because that's just like it's an obsession that you know that you can live a life that the average Joe doesn't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of people would love to learn, but nobody wants to put the effort. Everybody thinks that you could just learn from videos or you could just learn without time in the market. You need time in the market to become an expert. You know, you need to go through 12 CPIs to know what CPI is. You need to know what it's like to trade on volatile environments. You need to learn how to lose a lot to learn how to win a lot. It's not something that just happens overnight.
Yeah, it takes time and work.
Hmm. So the only thing I will tell you is dedicate. Like, what are the things you do on your normal day? Like, you spend a lot of time on social media. What do you do?
No, not really. I mean, I just, wake up, shower, go to work, come back from work, go to the gym, come back from the gym. Then I had to cook. Then I just go to sleep.
That's it. That's good life. I
That's
like it.
it.
I like it. Una mujer vaga.
No, I don't go out at all. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But you do have a boyfriend.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing that.
Damn, guys. She's gonna be a profitable trader soon, guys. No distractions. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm focused.
You will. Yeah, you just need the right guidance. That's all it is. Bueno, pues, Isa, I'm gonna let you go. It was a good session. It was a good hour spent together. I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna forward it to you so you can like literally watch it over and over and over again. All the information is here for you to basically just take notes. And then the replay bar too on TradingView, you can use it on your own and go to different days and do the same thing. Just follow the same process that we're doing in the same video that I'm gonna send you, okay?
Okay.
Jimmy,
Thank
thanks for
you.
being and hanging out here. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, okay, for Open Bell. Take care, guys.